Hello guys and welcome to this video of Sanzu Haruchiyo Explained. In this video, I will be talking about the character Sanzu, also known as the Loyal Mad Dog. And this video is going to contain manga spoilers from Tokyo Revengers. Sanzu is the vice president of the Kanto Manji Gang. 2 years before Kanto Manji Gang's foundation, Sanzu was the 5th Division vice captain of the Tokyo Manji Gang. And he would later follow Yasuhiro Muto into Tenjuku Gang. While he was a member of Tenjuku, Sanzu had long curly hair that went all the way past his shoulders. And in an alternate future timeline, Sanzu became the number 2 of Bonten Gang. Sanzu is a young man with pink-colored hair, and he also has slightly droopy blue eyes with long eyelashes. He shares a similar appearance with his younger sister Senju Kawagari. And Sanzu is also the younger brother of Takemichi Akashi, who is the vice president of Brahman Gang. As the vice captain of the 5th Division, Sanzu is usually seen wearing the Tokyo Manji Gang uniform, with a black mask, and he always has a calm look on his face. Sanzu is seen wearing multiple earrings, and he has a total of 4 piercings on each of his ears. As an adult, Sanzu has a long mullet that reaches down to his shoulders, and he wears a blue-purple formal suit. And after the Tokyo Manji Gang was disbanded, he no longer wears his black mask. This reveals his 2 scars that are on both sides of the corner of his lips. He also has a Bonten Gang tattoo that can be seen on his right forearm. In his younger days, Sanzu had short hair that was swept to one side and gelled back on the other side. And he never wore a mask until meeting Yasuhiro Muto. This is because Muto was the 5th Division captain of the Tokyo Manji Gang, and when Sanzu became the vice captain of the 5th Division, Muto gave Sanzu the mask so that he could cover up the scars on his face. And when he is the vice president of the Kanto Manji Gang, Sanzu wears his pink hair in a ponytail, with one loose strand of hair running down the left side of his face. And in chapter 245, we got the backstory of Sanzu, and we learned that he is childhood friends with Mikey and Baji. Sanzu, Senju, Mikey, and Baji would always be together when they were kids. And according to Senju, Sanzu was actually a good boy who never did anything wrong, but he was still blamed for mistakes he never made. As a child, Sanzu was raised by a single father, however his father was always busy, so he would be left at his grandmother's house with Senju and Takemichi. And since Takemichi was the oldest sibling, he was forced to play the role of the father, and it was his job to look after Sanzu and Senju. And Takemichi would always get mad at Sanzu. And Takemichi would blame Sanzu for Senju's mistakes. The way he was treated by his older brother had a very negative impact on Sanzu's childhood, and it caused him a lot of suffering. However, despite the fact that Sanzu would always be blamed for Senju's mistakes, Sanzu was still always very nice to Senju, and he never held a grudge against her. During this chapter, we also learned how Sanzu got the scars on his face. It turns out Mikey is actually the one who was responsible for giving Sanzu the scars on his face. And this happened after Senju broke a toy plane that belonged to Mikey, and Senju made up a lie, and she told Mikey that Sanzu was the one who broke the plane, because she was scared. And in the next panel, we see Sanzu on his knees with his mouth torn, and he also has 2 cuts on his face. And his 2 cuts were bleeding all over the place. Sanzu was holding his mouth trying to hold back the pain, but he could not hold back the pain that he felt, and Sanzu immediately started screaming in pain. Mikey's hands were covered in blood, and Mikey was just looking at Sanzu, but there was something strange going on with Mikey. He had a scary look on his face and his eyes were cold. And then Mikey just tells Sanzu to laugh, and Sanzu followed Mikey's order and started laughing. And that is how Sanzu got the scars on his face. According to Senju, Sanzu completely changed since this day, and we only see Sanzu's backstory one time after this scene, and that is when we see him hanging out with Mikey and Baji. And Sanzu has 2 bandages on his scars. Sanzu has blonde hair and gray eyes in the anime, however in the manga he is seen with pink hair and blue eyes. When he was a teenager, Sanzu Haruchiyo had a calm demeanor and he rarely ever talked. He was also extremely loyal and much nicer to those he follows and worships. However, it was later revealed that he is also extremely manipulative and is exceptionally good at deceiving other people. In his younger days, before meeting Yasuhiro Muto, Mikey described Sanzu as a wild horse who couldn't keep himself out of trouble. This made it quite difficult for other divisions in the gang to manage him. As an adult, Sanzu seems to be much more extroverted, blunt, and loud. He is ruthless, and he displays psychopathic tendencies. Sanzu is also shown to be on many drugs, which is believed to have played a big part in his insane behavior and personality change. And Sanzu's most notorious trait is his fanatical idolization towards Manjiro Sano, believing Mikey to be his king, and thus deserving of the utmost respect, loyalty, and devotion. Sanzu is subservient to Mikey, and he sees Mikey as his king. And this means that Sanzu is willing to kill anyone who opposes Mikey. He is so obsessed with protecting Mikey, or at least the image of him, that he assaulted a whole gang by himself when they were bad-mouthing Toman. He also approached Yasuhiro Muto when he was released from jail, purely to kill him for betraying Mikey. Sanzu even went as far as to brutalize him to his bones, and left his skeleton to be found after throwing his dead body into the ocean. Sanzu thinks that the king is more important than anything else, and he is willing to do anything to serve Mikey. In the Banten timeline, he takes a sadistic delight and notorious euphoria when executing traitors, and while executing the traitors Sanzu declares that he is enacting the will of his president Mikey. When Sanzu encountered Takemichi in the future timeline, Sanzu ordered him to be silent before the king would speak, and he threatened to shoot Takemichi for his casual approach, because he believed it to be a sign of disrespect towards Mikey. Sanzu may appear to be a calm and trustworthy person, however he is actually a very cunning and manipulative person. He was easily able to manipulate Yasuhiro Muto for a very long time, and Sanzu later killed him after Muto betrayed his president Mikey. Sanzu even followed Muto into Tenjuku gang, and Sanzu made Muto fully believe that he was on his side, all while hiding his true personality. And Sanzu made Muto believe that he was on his side by telling him that he is an only child, so he always wanted a big brother like him, and Muto fully believed him. Eventually Sanzu would show his true colors to Muto, and when Sanzu fought against Yasuhiro Muto, he used a katana to kill Muto, and he used this katana to slash him across his chest. And then Sanzu goes on to call Muto a traitor, and Sanzu goes on to tell Muto that he has been deceiving him all this time for this very purpose. Sanzu tells Muto that the king is more important than anything else, and Sanzu says that the day he betrayed Mikey is the day he got checkmated. Sanzu says all this with a smile on his face while brutally killing his former captain. And when Sanzu takes off his mask, this symbolizes that he is finally showing his true personality and revealing his true intentions. Sanzu is an extremely powerful fighter, and he often uses weapons in fights, like when he fought against the Rokuhara Tandai he used a metal pole. And during this battle, Sanzu fought against both the Haitani brothers all by himself. He was able to fight both Haitani brothers as an equal, and after the war ended their fight ended in a draw. And also Sanzu was able to take multiple hits from the older Haitani brother, and even after being hit in the head with a police rod he was still able to keep on fighting. When Sanzu fought against the Tokyo Manji gang's second generation, he fought against his younger sister, Senju. And Sanzu knocked out Senju by hitting her in the head with a metal pipe. After knocking out Senju, Sanzu then tried to kill everyone by running them over with the train. And in Takemichi's future vision, this plan actually succeeded, and Sanzu was able to kill everyone. And this shows how ruthless and cruel Sanzu is. He is willing to kill anyone, even if they are on the same side. Sanzu does not care who his friends or enemies are, and he thinks that everyone besides Mikey is just a bunch of noise. During this battle Sanzu also fought against Takemichi and Kikucho, and Sanzu was able to kill Kikucho by cutting him across the chest with his katana. Sanzu has also shown some impressive durability feats during this fight. He was able to take multiple punches from Kikucho, and Kikucho also hit him with a wrench, and even after being hit in the head with a wrench, he was still able to remain conscious. And after that Sanzu even got thrown off of a train by Kikucho, and even after being thrown off of a moving train he still did not get knocked out. After killing Kikucho, Sanzu was about to kill Takemichi by stabbing him with his katana. However, at the last minute Taiju Shiba showed up on his motorcycle, and Taiju saved Takemichi by hitting Sanzu with his motorcycle. And even after being hit by Taiju's motorcycle at full force, Sanzu was still able to get back up and remain standing. And after getting back up, Sanzu attacked Taiju from behind, and Sanzu slashed Taiju's back with his katana. The fact that Sanzu could be hit by all these attacks, and still get back up, and even have the energy to stab Taiju, shows that he has extremely impressive durability and stamina. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the character Sanzu Haruchiyo. This is the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.